Hello and welcome to Bridging the Gap. I'm your host, Todd Johnson, and again, we're glad to have you with us today. I have a special guest with me today who's a sophomore at LaSalle University, and I'd like to introduce Daniel Davis. Daniel, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Daniel, as a sophomore, I know that you have many experiences that you'd like to share with us, but first I'd like foremost to let me know what it's like to be a student here at LaSalle. Do you live on campus? Do you live off campus?
I actually do live on campus. I live at St. Basil's, which is right up from Treetops Cafeteria. It's a pretty good experience being here at LaSalle. It's really taught me a lot. It's a very diverse place, and I really like how they really teach you how to really be ready for the real world when that comes.
And speaking of the real world, it's been a lot of campuses and colleges who have been covering different things on Martin Luther King.
Yes.
I know on Martin Luther King, the actual day, you were somewhere special. You want to share that with us, what you did?
Yes, I was, for the Martin Luther King Day, coincidentally, that was actually on the inauguration day. So me and my organization, the African-American Student League, we actually took a bus trip with probably about 98 people towards the inauguration in Washington. It was a great experience. It's something that you have to be there to really understand how powerful that is. We got there probably around 8 o'clock, and then we stayed till about maybe 3. And just a great experience to see the president and him getting sworn in, and then seeing the performers and Beyonce and all that type of stuff. So
Was she lip singing?
personally, I couldn't tell, but she claimed she was, but from where I was standing, it didn't really sound like it.
Did you see a lot of other students from other colleges around?
I can't say I did. It was a lot of mixture of everybody. You couldn't really tell who was from where, but it was just a good environment to be. Everybody was just happy to see President Obama get sworn back in.
Now, that experience when you were down in Washington, did you get a chance to see the Martin Luther King statue?
I actually did not get a chance to.
Wow.
I really wanted to, but because of time restraints, we had to be back at a certain time. So I always had the summer to look forward to try and go back to Washington.
Now, as a student, Daniel, when you hear that name, Martin Luther King, what does that mean for you personally?
It means someone who was very, very powerful in the sense of they knew that their words could strike a tone that could set the country anew. We were in a time back then where it was just racial tension always, and everywhere you went, there was only segregation and everywhere. But for someone like him, I wasn't around, of course, when that time was, but from hearing stories from my grandparents and even my mother, who was born around the time where he was marching and stuff like that, it's very powerful to see how someone who knew they could make a difference actually made a difference. And it's gone on for years, and it'll go on for the rest of the time because of him.
Now, Martin Luther King, that experience that many African Americans have had as a result of the work that he's done, how has that impacted you here on LaSalle's campus? Has it made you more dedicated? Has it made you a little bit more loosey-goosey? I mean,
It's definitely gave me motivation, because I feel for myself, I feel like if he can do it, I can do it. I feel as if he set an example that not just for me as an African-American student, but for all African-American students, that we can strive to be as whatever we want to be, whether it be doctor, even a TV host like you. We could do whatever we want to be, and I find that to be that's an amazing feeling to know that you can actually do that.
now here on campus, what is your major?
I'm a communication major.
Well, I'll be communicate. Is there anything that you what's the projection for you?
My track right now would be the public relations track, but I'm also considering double tracking in the mass media track. I have a very fine interest for both of those tracks because I really like what PR does, and I really like what mass media does, and it's always great for any communication major to be well faceted in all different areas.
Now, on this particular campus, I know you said you live at St. Newman, is that correct?
St. Basil.
St. Basil. Are there any activities before you left to go to Washington that would have included some of what Dr. King did, or was the school closed? I mean, could you give us a little background on?
Well, the school we had the day off for that day because it was a national holiday. But actually, because we went to the inauguration, we couldn't do anything. But one of my members from the African-American Student League, my executive board member, Michael Hextall, he actually went to a Philadelphia high school did some community service that day with some of the youth there, helping them with art supplies and stuff like that. Just getting what the real message of Martin Luther King Day is about, just being grateful and thankful for someone like that who has paved the way for many of us, many people, and all around the world.
On campus, there were some activities, community service activities, while
Yes.
you guys were in D.C. But in D.C., did you get the feeling that you were witnessing something special that many students or many people like myself who are older will never get that experience to see an inauguration of an African-American president?
Yeah, it was definitely something that it was really. I came back here and I actually talked to my mother, and I was like, "This is one of the moments where I hope to be able to tell my kids when I grow up, when I get older and stuff like that." Because it's one of those moments. It's just like you realize, especially with an African American president, that doesn't always come around. It doesn't happen a lot. So you always want to relish in that type of moment, and just to see, even though we weren't that close to see him, but just to see him on the board and know that, hey, we're here. This is going to be a historic moment that goes down in history. It was just a really great feeling.
That feeling that you had, and then coming back to LaSalle's campus, did it reinvigorate you, or did it make you say, hey, look, I know one day I'm going to make a special contribution to the world? Because one of the things Martin Luther King often talked about was that the greatest thing a human being could do was give back in service.
Yes, it definitely made me want to do more here, whether that be community service or just on my own. I actually am in the process of working with someone who's a youth counselor who helps people with who want to accomplish to get their GEDs and stuff like that. So it's made me want to go into more places that I know I can make a difference myself, whether that be this year, next year. But I just know that because of how strong Martin Luther King was and his message was, that it'll definitely be motivation for me for the rest of my life.
I know some of the LaSallian principles. I've heard some of the students talk about some of the principles, and one of them is giving back and giving community service. So your community service will be a part and parcel of what you do beyond graduating from LaSalle.
Yes, it definitely will be. I will always strive to do whatever I can do for the community, whether that be, doesn't particularly mean just always going to community service things. It could be, if there's a food drive, do that. If there's a toy drive, do something like that. Just something that you know will always better those around you.
So here at campus, your aim is not only to excel, obviously as a communications major,
Yes.
but I would also imagine that your aim is also to have some impact on this campus, that when you leave, people will know that Daniel Davis has been here.
Yes, that's
So what would that consist of?
Well, right now it consists of me being a part of the African-American Student League, because I am the Director of Development, which basically my role is to basically develop ideas that can help not just better the African-Americans on this campus, but just overall the whole campus itself. And I want to as we get into the future, whether it be this year or next year, I want to do more things that involve not only just blacks, but all races, to have a sense of diversity. I feel African American Student League, people sometimes think, oh, well, it's just African Americans that go into that, and that's all that. We don't want to be in a box. We want to set a standard that everyone can feel, okay, hey, let's go to African American Student League meeting. Let's go to one of their events. Let's show them some love, because they show us love.
What are some of the things that you guys have planned?
Okay, well, this month we have a bunch of stuff coming up for Black History Month. We have tomorrow we have a Black and Entertainment talk, which will be led by me. We will be talking about how blacks are just seeing entertainment and what we feel about that. We have a Black is Beautiful talk, how black females are seen, and how we could change the thought process about that. We also have a Blacks in Business talk, which will be, I believe, next week in February. Where it's just a bunch of business people who are coming in just to talk to everybody, and it's a great networking event for everyone, so they can start off on the right path to their future career.
So your parents, I guess, must be very proud of
the
work you're doing.
Yes, they very.
Now, are you a Philadelphia native, or did you come from another city?
No, I'm from Philadelphia. I'm from West Philadelphia, Winfield to be exact, and I've lived here all my life.
Okay, that's definitely a plus when I see a Philadelphia.
Yes.
So here at LaSalle, I know that they have athletics and they have all kinds of stuff going, but the African American Student League, you're saying you want to take that and make it something that is not only diverse, but something that everyone is aware of, and activities that you're doing.
Yeah, I love all the sports that are offered here at LaSalle, and I think that's great that they do that. But from my perspective, I have a different perspective. I want to change how our culture is around here. We already have a great diverse set of people, but I feel like we should have a great diverse set of standards is which we can all live by, especially at this campus.
That's great. That's a great achievement. I know when I was your age living on campus, I was probably not as focused as you are, so I commend you for that.
Appreciate that.
Now, I want to thank you, Daniel, for being with us today, and I'll be watching you. Okay. And not watching you, but watching you, the success that you're going to have. Okay. And so thank you for being on Bridging the Gap today.
Okay.
And again, we'll be right back. Please do not go away. We got something special planned for you. Thank you, and we look forward to you sticking with us as we'll be right back on Bridging the Gap.
Lieutenant Colonel Nicole Malachowski, a U.S. Air Force Fighter Squadron Commander and the first woman pilot with the United States Air Force Aerial Demonstration Team. My fellow airmen and I know that each of us plays a huge part in our victories, whether in the air or on the ground. We couldn't accomplish our mission without using everyone's skills to reach our goals. Embracing our differences and working together is also what has made America strong. Thank you for your support, and remember, our strength lies in our diversity. This message brought to you by the United States Air Force.
For others, it may have just been a summer job. But for me, it was training. Now I'm an Air Force pararescueman, and my job is to save lives. Make the right choices today, and be ready for the challenges tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Being a gold medalist skier requires a lot of hard work, intense training, and time outside on the mountain. But taking care of my skin is easy and doesn't affect my performance. Every day I apply sunscreen and wear protective gear. I know protecting my skin will help prevent skin cancer and avoid wrinkles. I get my skin checked regularly by a dermatologist. 1 in 5 Americans will develop some form of skin cancer in their lifetime. My name is Julia Mancuso, and I'm wearing orange to help put a spotlight on skin cancer.
Hello and welcome back to Bridging the Gap. I have a very interesting guest with me today, Professor Mike Smith. Professor Smith, welcome to Bridging the Gap.
Thank you very much, Reverend Johnson.
Now someone seeing you in that chair may say, is he going to talk about Martin Luther King Day? And most certainly you are. You're an expert here at LaSalle on Martin Luther King Day, and the fact that you were one of those key players that helped it become a reality. You want to kind of give us the impetus of how it started and who the key players were in the process of getting a Martin Luther King interfaith service here on campus?
All right, I'd love to. For years, LaSalle had a Martin Luther King observation on that day. There was a King's Dream leadership conference for students. But a couple of years ago, you and I were having a conversation as part of a bigger project that my public relations students were doing for the community and also for LaSalle in terms of improving communication between LaSalle and its neighbors. And you just happened to mention that, you know, some other universities, which shall remain nameless, in the city did Martin Luther King Day tributes, and why didn't LaSalle? And as a Christian Brothers institution with a long commitment to community service and social justice, I wondered the same thing. And so you and I had some conversations, and then I went off and talked to some of the powers that be, and lo and behold, they said, it's a good idea, why don't we do it? So last year was the first Martin Luther King interfaith tribute, and this year we had our second one, and even bigger and better, I think.
Yes, it was. For you, as a college professor, dealing with students on an everyday basis, what did Martin Luther King's, how do you see his impact in what you do today?
Well, there's a couple of ways that Martin Luther King's legacy impacted me, and I think by extension all of us here at LaSalle University. As I mentioned before, his commitment to social justice and community service, that's part of who we are as LaSallians. So as a professor at LaSalle University, that was a very important part of his legacy to me. More personally, I'm a communication professor and a public relations person who studies social movements. And my background is in rhetoric. And there is no finer rhetoric in America, American history, than the words of Martin Luther King. They moved a nation, they moved people of all races and faiths, and so I studied them from the time I was a young scholar, as it were. And so from that standpoint, it was always an important part for me to do something about Martin Luther King and to honor his legacy. The interfaith tribute was just kind of a natural extension of that, I think.
You want to tell us a little bit about what that consists of, that because we know a lot of people do a lot of community service projects, but that's a little different in that it is a actual worship experience, if you will.
Yes. I should say that this year in particular, the Martin Luther King Interfaith Tribute was part of the larger King's Dream effort that our Division of Student Life put together, which consisted of a day of community service, a period to watch the inauguration on the widescreen of our theater on campus, and a series of other workshops and things that are happening actually throughout the month, through January and into February. But the Interfaith Tribute itself this year consisted of several representatives from religious traditions, including an imam from the University of Pennsylvania, and one of our students who has worked with youth in area high schools and that. And they all spoke of Martin Luther King's legacy and his impact on what they do. And then our keynote speaker was Dr. Robin Smith, who is more popularly known, I think, as Oprah's psychologist. She is quite a well-known author, and had been Oprah Winfrey's sort of go-to woman when it came to issues of relationships and families. One thing I didn't know when she had made the offer to come speak for our tribute was that she's also an ordained minister. And so she brought the spiritual and religious perspective to what we did during the Interfaith Tribute. We also had some really good, really fine gospel music, and a couple of prayers that the whole congregation, as it were, was involved in, and that was essentially the service.
And I know this year was bigger and better, and I guess you anticipate next year just expanding it and kind of using that as a impetus and a tool to grow and to expand the legacy of Martin Luther King, both here on LaSalle's campus.
Certainly, that's part of it, but it's also a way too, I think, to reach out to our neighbors. We know that the religious tradition is very strong in our community. You're an example of that. And to the extent that we can invite our neighbors to, in a spiritual way, honor Dr. King's legacy, I think that's something that will continue to grow as we look forward.
I also want to ask you this, Professor Smith. The day of service, as great as it was, and it was a great day, there's something else that takes place afterwards in the form of a reception. You want to share that with us?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm not sure if we have any incriminating dancing photos or not, but one of the things that we think is really important, and again, this is, we know that religious congregations that break bread together, pray together better, and forge a stronger sense of community. And so after each of the interfaith tributes, we've had some fellowship consisting of food, sandwiches, cold but non-alcoholic beverages, and much of it donated, I should say, by Whole Foods, one of our neighbors here. And this year and last year, we featured a jazz combo with a couple of LaSalle students and a few musicians from the area, and they were quite good.
Yes, they were.
And a good time was had by all, I think.
Yeah, I was trying to goat you there. There was a time there during the reception where you and your wife took the dance floor, and that was, you were Fred Astaire. But I remember that Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers moment. But again, people from the community were there, people from LaSalle were there, and it was just a time that where everybody came together who normally would not interface with one another.
Right.
So would you say from that vantage point, the reception was also a success?
I think so, and I'll say, you know, for both the first year and the second year, I think the fellowship hours was one of the more satisfying parts of the day. You know, the tributes were moving. You know, people were moved by the spirit, I think, during the interfaith tribute, but they were moved by music and good conversation during the fellowship hour, and I think some real bonds were forged there. Had some conversations with some folks I hadn't really met before, and some folks who came back for the second year and said, you know, this is something we need to do more of. So I think that was a really important part of it.
I think an extension of that would be just to have more opportunities for the neighbors and for LaSalle staff, faculty, whomever, to interface with, and students as well, and maybe have music and food always seems to bring people together. So I think in the future that would be something that you guys might want to look into, because the music was outstanding. I was on the floor dancing.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm not really a great dancer, but I did okay.
Yes, there were a lot of people up and dancing. I really enjoyed that, and I think you're right. Good food, good music, and the opportunity to talk with each other in ways that we don't normally get a chance to do. I think that would be an important thing going forward. You know, we know that Martin Luther King's legacy, you know, doesn't end on Martin Luther King Day. That the work of building community and forging ties with folks continues all year long. So we ought to do more of that.
And that feeling of goodwill that existed both at the service and the reception, I think for me that was a lingering effect, because people who I would see who were there at the reception and the service were talking about what a great time they had. Even if they didn't dance, they said they got an opportunity just to sit around and eat and talk to people who they normally would not.
That's right.
And so I think that LaSalle could be on to something, and if that is replicated in other areas on campus. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think that's absolutely true. There are a lot of things that LaSalle is doing in partnership with our neighbors. The Neighborhood Food and Nutrition and Health Initiative that's just beginning, the community building team's work. But it always takes a nice party to kind of get things going. And I think if we're able to have more fellowship along with the real community work that we're doing, that will bear a lot of fruit going forward.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the day when those of us who, like myself, are considered outsiders would be welcomed on campus for those kind of events, where we can make it an annual, ongoing thing and just having fun. I think sometimes we lack that in our lives, just having good, clean fun. And so for you and the university, you did an outstanding job. We look forward to what is going to transpire next year. Could you give us maybe a little foretaste of what is to come? Or
Well, bigger and better. You know, there's always more that we can do in terms of getting representatives from the various faith traditions. You know, from getting more involvement from students. You know, the inauguration this year, in some respects, was both a blessing and a curse, because once people saw the inauguration and they went back to their dorms, it was a little hard to get people back out in the cold. So I think there's some ways that we can work to improve that. But again, as I said, bigger and better as we go forward.
so I want to ask a question that I want to pose to you and as well as the LaSalle community. Is there going to be some Martin Luther King tributes that we'll see here on this campus that heretofore had not been, i.e. statues or i.e. some type of community service award and given in his name, those kinds of things? Could we anticipate that since we were victorious in one aspect, we can continue this winning streak? How do you feel?
Well, that's an interesting idea. I haven't been privy to any conversations along those lines. The one thing I can say is that, again, it's part of the King's Dream programming. You know, I think the real tribute to Dr. King is in the people who carry on the legacy, and to the extent that we can inspire students and our neighbors and other people around the community, the LaSalle community as well as our neighbors, to carry on his legacy. You know, that to me is a pretty important tribute. I will say more specifically, we're having an oratory contest where prizes will be awarded, and in some respects, again, there's a very specific tribute to the legacy of his wonderful rhetoric, inspiring words, and the ongoing inspiration that they provide to people. But in terms of statues and murals and that, I'm not sure. That would be a good thing to talk about here.
Okay, well, again, that'll be a conversation to be had later. But I want to thank you for being on our show today, Professor Smith. And again, I'm your host, Todd Johnson. When one's on the right, another's on the left. When we reach towards the middle, we begin to bridge the gap. Until next time, love somebody and be nice to everybody. Bye for now.